Let's see. Grand.
It's not my fault. It was broken. It was broken. It was not my fault. So this week everyone was sick. Me too. And that was because we had some visitors visit these two young ladies, and like the third day one of them woke up totally sick, and then we were like, ah, crap. Now the good thing about the whole quarantine situation is that during that quarantine and what's it called, the pandemic thing, like no people showed up sick. We still had visitors and no one showed up sick. And way back before that, like years ago, this didn't happen when I used to live in Vermont because people would just drive there in their own cars. But ever since we moved to Central America, like whenever we got visitors, they generally have recently been in an airplane or a bus, just packed in with people and just sick, coughing on each other and everything. So people, like half the time we got visitors, by like the second or third day, they'd wake up and just be throwing up or whatever. And then we'd be like, oh crap, now we're all going to get knocked out for like a week. So we implemented our own quarantine, which worked great. And we just basically told people, hey, you just came in an airplane or a bus, just, hold off on the hugs. We just kind of pay attention for a couple days and keep your distance. And if they started puking by the third day, we'd just be like, oh, good thing we weren't like all snuggly. That actually worked pretty well. But during the whole pandemic situation, I guess we slacked off on that, eh? We're gonna have to hey, don't turn around, naked baby. All right, there you go. We're gonna have to reinitiate our quarantine situation for when visitors come, and just like lock them in a room for like 2 days before they can snuggle anyone or say hi or whatever. So what do you think we got anyway?
The flu.
We got the flu, I think. Maybe it was COVID-19. I don't know. Anyway, we got sick and pretty much everyone's just been knocked out for like a week. I'm mostly feeling better now. Still kind of tired though. Whoa, careful.
Helicopter. Okay.
I'm gonna have to kick some kids out of here because they're fighting. Hey, you guys, go downstairs. I'm starting to thing now. Okay, so some people think some of these illnesses have been manufactured. And I don't know about that. But I do know about the idea that you could have biological weapons in the first place was something that was thought up by a smart person. And then dumb people got the idea. And hey, stop doing that. And then dumb people got the idea. And because smart people figured out how to do it, and dumb people got the instructions of how to do it, they did dumb things with things like that. And I would say in general, a lot of the problems in our world right now are because smart people are teaching dumb people how to do things. Like how to make nuclear bombs, for example. Like the people who figured out how to make nuclear bombs, they weren't like, oh, we should blow up like 2,000 of these. No, that was the dumb people who didn't figure it out, who got a hold of it and were like, oh, okay, you mean if I do this and this and this, then I can make a big boom when I mash this button? Let's do it a couple thousand times. And then the guy who invented TV, he was concerned that the TV could be used to just pump out stupid entertainment and make people dumber. But he was hoping, of course, that it would get used to help educate people, to spread information and, teach people things, better, be used for communication. So he was even aware of the problem. Usually the people who come up with these ideas, the smart people who figure things out, they know there's a problem. And it's not until the dumb people come along that they actually do the problem. A guy who invented plastic bags, he would carry a plastic bag around in his pocket because he was like, wow, this is great. Look, I can have this little tiny thing. I can fold it open and have this big bag to carry stuff around whenever I want. And he was totally aware that, if you use these one time and throw them away, they'll become an environmental hazard. So he made them to be reusable over a long period of time. Of course, then the stupid people got it and were like, oh, okay, if I follow the instructions, I can make these plastic bags. And, oh, I can make them really cheap if I make them real thin, in which case they rip the first time you use them, and then we'll just keep throwing them out and throwing them out and throwing them out and throwing them out and making mountains of garbage. So there's just like so many examples of this, of smart people figuring stuff out and totally knowing the downside of their inventions. And just like teaching dumb people how to do it, knowing that dumb people are going to use it wrong. And all these smart people are doing this so they can get their names in some book and some picture in some thing that says, great contribution to humanity. And I think, man, smart people, you got to like lay off. Quit teaching all the dumb people how to do stuff, because the dumb people are not using it right. They're definitely not using it right. All right, that's about all I have to say about that. What else am I talking about today? Oh.
Apparently, Joseph Blomeister's family got some kind of flu crud 2 Sundays ago, just now recovering. That sounds like us, because we got it like 2 Sundays ago.
2 Sundays ago. This is a Sunday, so that makes it 2 weeks ago. Yeah. I think I've been...
Well, but it didn't start until Monday, the girl, but still.
I've been sick like basically for a week.
Or Tuesday.
First I got a headache. The headache day was the worst.
Yeah, your day was the day after.
Okay, whatever. Anyway, I got a headache one day, and then the next day the headache was like subsiding and then gone. And then I was kind of thinking, oh, maybe I feel better now. But then I've just been like tired for like the last few days. So I think I'm starting to feel like I have a little more energy now. Although I could just be getting used to it. So maybe I don't know. I think it's probably a combination of getting used to it and I'm actually getting better. So I should be okay soon, which is a good thing because all my roofing materials are in town right now and I need to go get them as soon as the weather is okay. Man, we got some bad weather coming up this week. Hey, no yelling. So like to go get stuff from town, I need some reasonably okay weather, mostly not tons of wind, because tons of wind makes tons of waves. And if I'm carrying a lot of cargo on the boat, which I will be when I go get all this roof stuff, then, it's all going to get splashed with salt water. And I don't want that to happen because I have more than just the roofing stuff. The roofing stuff wouldn't be that bad if it got wet, but there's some other stuff in there too. Anyway, hopefully I can go get that on Wednesday or something. I don't know, sometime this week. We'll see. And then I have to figure out how to do this roof I've been talking about. And I'm thinking I should take my camera with me when I go get the stuff. And I'll just start some roofing videos then. I've been slacking off on the videos for the last week because, well, I've just been kind of sick and not doing that much. And then before that, I was mostly just coming over to Dashaina's island and getting stuff and taking it home because I want to clear out the rest of my stuff from here. Because I can't take it here anymore. No, mostly because Dashaina wants my crap gone. What are you doing? Who are you talking to?
Texting your people.
What are you texting them? I'm going to look. Oh, man. So the other thing that this sickness is, it's like all my muscles are kind of tight and my back's all like, it's like all full of knots. Not knots like I've been even like, not even like I've been working hard or anything. It's just like those annoying knots, like a knot right in the middle of my back where it's like, Yeah, so I apologize if I'm all over the place today. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit zonked out. Hey, don't pull on that. Why don't you come over here and tell me what's going on? Okay. Hey. I'm going to back this up a little bit. So how's everybody else doing today? Hopefully everyone else isn't sick and dying. One cool thing about this sickness thing is it made me like rest for a week, which I think is a good thing because I haven't stopped to smell the flowers in a while. And
I can't smell anything, so.
Good thing. Yeah. Yeah, for a while, I'm always feeling like I'm not getting enough done or whatever. And then when I stopped and, spent a week just chilling and relaxing, I got a chance to look around and be like, wow, I'm actually doing all right. I got a pretty cool house made. I got more and more plants growing. Oh, so a few weeks, well, I don't know, like a month ago, whenever, I planted a bunch of trees, right? And I mentioned at some point that 2 of them weren't doing very well. Well, those 2 are now growing little, like
Leaflets?
most of the tree like died kind of as soon as I put it in, but now stuff's growing out of the bottom. So yeah, they're totally alive and growing. So every tree I planted in that one video where I planted a bunch of trees, they're all growing and alive and doing well. And the two worst ones are just starting to grow little things from the bottom. But most of the rest of them are like, growing all kinds of new leaves and stuff, which is great. And the cherry tree is doing very well. The pumpkin cherry.
The Suriname cherry?
Yeah. Hey, keep that baby out of our thing.
Yeah.
Or YouTube will ban us.
I don't think they'll ban us.
I know. So what do you got going on there?
Well, apparently, like I said, Joseph's family was all sick. And apparently, Tomato's family, everybody got COVID except him. And he's been tested like 3 times. But he never got it.
You know what? What's kind of annoying? Like, so during the quarantine, everyone, I mean, they just went overboard and locked everyone in their houses for like a year and a half, right?
He said, "Don't stare at him."
So, we went to one extreme where everyone gets locked in their houses for like a year and a half, and now people are kind of relaxed. We're going back to the old extreme, which is like, oh, I'm sick, I don't care, I'll just go out and cough on everyone, and now just it's gonna go all back to normal. Can't we just like be not the stupid people? Can we just be not the stupid people and not spread everything around? Like when you get sick, just stay home and don't go coughing on everyone and don't spread it everywhere. Because man,
I mean, I think that's the tricky thing is that like these 2 main things are asymptomatic for a few days.
The funniest thing about Dashaina is since she got sick, she's not been able to say a full sentence.
Anyway, so
what are you saying? Oh, you mean you don't get symptoms for a while and then you get people sick before you get the symptoms?
Right.
That's not what I'm talking about, though, obviously. I'm talking about the people who are sick and they know they're sick and they're just like, well, I've already got it, so who cares? And then they go out and just don't care who else they get sick. And,
or you can stop.
This all comes back to how I think we need to have a society based on morality, not on laws, because, there's just, people are just being so selfish and, self-centered and greedy and not caring about anyone else. And it just makes everyone's lives more difficult. There's no reason that all their lives have to be so difficult. Like we have enough real problems without making them up, but still people want to make up problems. So whatever. Hey, say a sentence.
So one of your fans, John Schlick, has been glazing custom tiles, and he mixed a special color to match some things and is now going on to painting clouds in varying shades of blue before firing those tiles.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Wait,
I want to see pictures of these, John.
So John has like a kiln and everything and he's doing it, or does he do it at a place, or what's the story?
I'm waiting for him he'll answer that question.
That's
John,
cool.
We need more information.
Yeah, we want to know about your
do
operation.
Tiles. Speaking of tiles, a friend of ours, you might remember Bobby Stutz.
Okay, yeah.
She posted on Facebook the other day these really pretty little tiles that she did with mosaic, smaller tiles, and they're like ocean themes.
Oh, nice,
They're
very nice,
cute.
very nice.
So
I want to make more tiles with all that clay we have around. Oh, actually, the girls recently went and dug up a bunch of clay and made all these
the gray kind.
Brown,
Okay,
like
I've seen
terracotta.
Okay.
They made a bunch of beads and like little doll plates and stuff, and we fired a few of them, and they came out really good. No cracks or anything. So I'm gonna have to, I want to do more clay stuff. Of course, I have like so much on my plate, so I need to finish my roof first and make my second and third floors. I did start thinking about how to make a lumber mill recently. And I'm gonna try to get a parts list together or start putting a few things together, and then
Apparently, John has his own kiln, and he's
nice.
redoing a bathroom at a rental property that he has.
Nice. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So, John, we need to see pictures of these tiles because they sound very pretty. You should email them to us.
Do you make videos of them or anything?
Yeah, that would be cool. We'll have
That
to
would be
check
really
that
interesting.
Out. Apparently, Jason has arrived, so we can start.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let's start again. Oh gosh, it's on. It's on.
Yeah,
we're started.
On.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Okay, great.
So what are we talking about this week?
Oh, I don't know. Jason's arrived, so we'll just have to find out what he wants to talk about.
Well, if Jason's here, then we can start. So everyone's been sick this week.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna make a ton of sense because my brains are still swimming a little. Yeah.
John says he's not been making videos because he's too busy making stuff.
That's good. That's the best reason. That's actually when I make the fewest videos is when I'm too busy making stuff.
It doesn't say, sweet girl. Yeah, gravity's gonna take it off. You need to tie it in the back. Wait, she's happy with that. Oh, poor Cameron. Anyway, moving on. So, Astral Economics wants to know, what's your opinion? I like the little warning signs, by the way. That's cute. That gets my attention. What's your opinion on living in civilization or on your own private island?
Well, obviously, I want to live on a private island.
Yeah.
And when they talk about civilization, I feel like I live in a much more civilized place than like people in a city or something. Why don't you guys go downstairs or something?
Aurora, can you come up and guide some little people down?
It's like a madhouse here today because
games, please.
There's 4 sick kids still. Well, I think she's okay.
She's not sick.
No, 2 of them are okay. Yeah, that one was running laps around the house yesterday, so I think he's good.
Fellowship seems normal today.
Yeah. Well, the 2 older girls, I keep asking them how they feel, and they're like, I'm fine. And then I'll look, and they'll be like laying on the floor like this. Yeah, I'm good. Everything's fine. I feel great. But they're not normally laying on the floor all the time.
Oh, apparently John recently
just snuggle this baby.
Waterproofed a vault roof. Hey, don't do that. Well, I need Kirkinen to give me the orange thing back. That's the issue right now, is that she just wants her fabric back.
Well, whatever it is, can we fix it?
He used Sika Top 107. Amazing stuff. It's concrete, workable, trowel, 1/16 inch coat on, and boom, waterproof.
Boom. Zoop zoop.
Are you thinking of building?
How much would this cost to cover oh my god, I can't do math right now. A 40-foot diameter dome, whatever.
Feel bad? The next question is, are you still thinking of building a track gymnasium on your upper floor? Do you want to talk about that?
Yes.
Talk about what your idea is for
that. This one may go short this week, just so you know. But yeah, I still want to make a running track on the second floor. So on the first floor of my house, Dashaina is like, she's got like 2 kids, just like, let's go, we're going downstairs, just dragging them like screaming footballs. Oh, it's so funny. Anyway, so I still want to do the same thing that I was in my original plan, which is kind of unusual. Often my plan changes after I start going, but this one I had a pretty good idea of what I wanted to do with my house before, and it's still the same. So I got my first floor concrete. My second floor is just going to be like an 8-foot wide track all the way around the outside, which leaves something big space in the middle. So it'll be like from the first floor, there's a really high ceiling in the middle part, but then a running track around the outside. And it'll be banked probably like 30 degrees on the end, just like the last, I don't know, maybe the last foot, like enough that I could run along it at an angle. And then the third floor, just floor all the way across to make a gymnasium. And I have these 3 king-size mattresses, like big fat king-size mattresses in my house right now. They're gonna go up on the 3rd floor, so you can do flips and land on them and stuff. And I've also been thinking about getting like a gymnastics floor up there. And because I have the steel pipe frame up in the ceiling, I can hang ropes and I think, yeah, it'll just be like lots of fun jungle gym stuff. I'm still not sure how I'm doing the stairs to get up and down though, but I know I definitely want to have multiple ways of getting up and down. Like there's going to be a rope climb, obviously, that you can climb from the first floor all the way up to the third floor. Well, up to the ceiling of the third floor. And then I want to have a slide that comes down, which I guess you could run back up to. And then there's probably going to be a couple different ladders or something. And there might be a normal thing of stairs somewhere. I'm not sure. But yeah, I think stairs are not the most important thing. I want to make sure there's multiple ways to go though. Because, you know, when you're kids and you're running around the house, you have to have multiple ways to go to evade the other kids. So if you're on the third floor hiding from your sister and she starts climbing up one ladder, then you go to the other end of the house and start climbing down that one. You gotta have different ways to go. And then, you know, you can escape going down the slide, except every kid's gonna be like, oh, they're gonna escape down the slide. So I'm gonna stand where the rope is and I can swing down to the bottom of the slide and intercept them. So yeah, I want to have lots of different ways to get up and down and everything. But then on the second floor where there's the running track, I don't need an 8-foot wide running track. 8 feet is like 2.5 meters. So maybe the outer half will be running track, and then the inner half will just be like different rooms. So there's 12 different slots, spokes, whatever you want to call them, pizza slices, 12 different spots where I can put. Well, at least a couple of them are probably going to have to be Lego zones. And for the Lego zones, I'll just have to make sure there's a little wall so all the Lego's not falling off onto the first floor all the time. And then maybe some drawing sections. I think that would be a great spot to have like drawing and stuff like that. And then, I don't know, I'll have 12 different things. Maybe some little kid bedrooms up there or something. And then I can get a bunch of stuff off the first floor because it's a little crowded right now. But yeah, I can just have like tools on one side of the first floor and like living stuff on the other side. And I think the thing I'm most looking forward to is just like the third floor, totally open floor, like nothing in the middle because it's, you know, it's got the dome roof, doesn't need any posts or anything. And it's big enough that we'll be able to play frisbee across there and stuff. Oh, that's going to be great. I can play catch, you know, and of course we'll do that stuff like out on the island too, but I mostly want to have that big open floor. Can still have space to play, run around, and, you know, play catch and stuff like that. Oh, that's gonna be so cool. Still a lot of work though. I gotta get this roof done, which I'm not sure how long it's gonna take. A month or two. I don't know. Like I could see it taking less than a month, but I could also see it taking more than a month, just depending on how it goes. I'm gonna hope for less than a month. But whatever, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to get this roof done, and I should make it waterproof like for a super long time. Oh, and the reason I'm not using, well, like what the guy was suggesting a little earlier, what was it, the Sikaflex?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know, how much would that even cost?
Well, I was going to tell you what he said.
Yeah.
You just said the opposite.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, that's okay. He's just
okay.
Himself. So, he says it's got a polymer in it, and it's 2 coats. They rate it as waterproof with 16 feet of hydraulic head, meaning it's waterproof if you put it in the water 16 feet. Let's see. He said something else in here. I'm just trying to... okay, you won't like the cost. It's about $1 per square foot, but you can get it down to 75 cents if you buy a number of the kits.
Yeah, it would be like... Oh God, my brains are not.
Jason says the surface of a 40-foot dome is about 10,106 square feet.
Well, there you go, $10,000. I don't have $10,000 to spend on this roof.
John said a cheaper.
Actually, that was how much it would cost to fiberglass it with epoxy.
Yeah, a cheaper alternative to the Sika top is to add Zypex to a.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm not just putting a coating on because if there's a crack in the roof, it's gonna open up. And the coating's going to open up. It's going to let water in, right? Like, and I'm not. It's already waterproof wherever there's zero cracks. Like that's not an issue.
Yeah.
Like I want to. This is why I want to make these dragon scale roof tiles, so they can shift, move around a little bit. If a like a little hairline crack opens up under one, it's the tile's still going to be there, so it's still going to be waterproof. You know.
So
So
the guy who asked about the living on an island versus
oh yeah, civilization.
he said that his goal within the
Dude,
next
can we
year.
get Car Canyon outside or something? What is going on?
Could you please put him outside? Thank you. Okay.
I think he's
he
still
says-
sick because he doesn't get like that unless he's like really tired.
So my goal within the next year is to buy a private island, and your videos have inspired me, helped me out so much. Not to mention the live videos are 100 times better. And then he's asking if it's possible to tour it while you're recording. We're actually at my house right now. He has done a couple tour like.
Now I did
videos,
think about
so-
getting Starlink at my house. Not. No, I don't want internet at my house. I really like not having. I really like just being present. You know, whenever I'm at my house and I'm trying to think of what to do, there's no like, well, you could just go on the internet and just, you know, just click on just one or two things, and then like 6 hours later, it's like, oh, there goes like a whole day. You know. Not that I ever let it go happen that bad or anything, but
Apparently, Tomatoes just gifted 5 Jaimie Mansell memberships.
to who?
Well, he gave one to Vasco Zuzus.
Oh, cool. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, apparently you can gift.
I didn't actually finish what I was saying earlier
sorry.
about. No, it's okay. Today, like we're all sick and everything's gonna be all over the place, and that's just sorry. But yeah, the guy was asking about civilization versus living on an island, and I feel like my island is much more civilized than any city I've ever been in. Like they call, maybe we need to redefine the term civilization or just establish the definition. But like
establish the definition.
Yeah.
Too.
What does the dictionary say? I don't care. Anyway, I feel like most of the world that people talk about being civilized is very uncivilized. Like total lack of freedom. You can't like build a shed on your own property without your neighbors complaining and then getting the police to come and make you tear it down
for a little bit.
Yeah. And like here I can do things that make sense, and it's just the idea that living in the wilderness is less civilized, I don't know, it just doesn't make sense. Although I understand that is the standard way of talking about things. But man, yeah, I couldn't live in a city now just because of the massive lack of freedom. And dude, if you want to live on a private island, I totally recommend it. It is awesome. You just have to be prepared for, well, it's not even have to be prepared. You have to be the right kind of person, like just living off grid in general. I talked about this a little bit last week. Ooh, my brains are remembering things. That's good. But I talked a little bit about this last week about how living off the grid is like the ultimate no instructions lifestyle, you know? Like if you're the kind of person who goes and buys something and gets it home and there's like a big instruction book and you read the whole instruction book before you even get the thing out, living off grid might not be the thing for you. But if you're like the kind of person who gets it home and you're like, instructions, forget that, and you just want to figure it out and do your own thing, yeah, living off the grid is great for that. Because like when you're in a city, you can't do your own thing. You try to do your own thing, you end up getting fined and arrested and yelled at and all this crap. You know, living in a city and the civilization. Yeah, if you're not coloring between the lines, you're just in big trouble. And when you live off grid, I guess it's good for some people and bad for some people. Like I love it because I get to wake up every morning and say, what can I do to make my life better? And then I get to figure it out. You know, I get to think of just anything. Like I can think of anything that I want that I could make better, or life just in general for me and the people around me better. And that's what I love about it. And the thing that really gets some people stuck is just the amount of responsibility that puts on you. So when you wake up and you're like, what can I do to make my life better? You're taking responsibility for your environment, your actions, for the place. Like, you're just taking responsibility for everything around you. And if you don't want to have any responsibility, just stay in the city, just get a normal job that's, pre-made, where you just show up, do your time, and 9 to 5, you get your paycheck and you know where you're getting, and then you go to the store and buy your food, and you just go through these dumb little steps, which some people wouldn't think is dumb, but to me, it would just be like unbelievably tedious to go through all that. But if you want easy life, do that. If you like challenges and you actually enjoy doing things that are hard and putting effort into things, yeah, do the off-grid deal. And it's also kind of a hard thing to explain, because I've had several people come here with the intention of moving here, and I always tell them, well, come and just check it out for a week or two first. But sometimes people are like, no, I'm coming and that's it. But most of the time, people come, and within a day or two, they're just like, I can't handle it. How do you deal with this? And it's like the kind of, and I've tried to explain, how things work, and they watch my videos, and like all the information is there. It's just so far outside of their worldview that until they're actually confronted in reality, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I think I rambled on enough about that. I'm not sure what I'm talking about. I stole Dashaina's tablet here. Let's see what she's talking about. Oh my gosh, what is this? Oh, is it possible to tour the island? Yeah. I was kind of considering getting a repeater, like to send the internet from here over to my island. But the problem is, if I do that, then it's like once the door is open, then I'm just going to have the internet there all the time. And even if I tell Dashaina, okay, just turn it on like once a week on Sunday, and I'll do a live from my island or something, then I'm always going to know that at any point in time, just radio her and say, hey, Dashaina, can you turn the internet on? Because I need to waste 3 hours of my life right now. So I think I really just want to leave my house with no internet. Oh yeah, fire pole. Someone mentioned a fire pole. Yes, I also want to have fire pole going from the 3rd floor down to the 1st floor. That'll be fun. And okay, so on the 2nd floor of my house, when I was talking about making the racetrack around the outside, so the inside will just be a big open thing. And there are 2 poles holding up the 3rd floor there. And
you can see all the chats, so you have to refresh it sometimes.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering why no one said anything for like 20 minutes, but whatever. So there are two poles right in the middle holding up the 3rd floor, and that's just going to be out in a big space in a really tall thing. And the 2 poles are actually pieces of a mast from a sailboat. And I was thinking of giving the kids those poles and maybe attaching a couple pieces of something and tell them they can make like a tree house up there. And then say, let me think. Well, say I've got the circle, then I can have like one bridge that goes right through the middle, and their tree house would be right in the middle. So from the 2nd floor, you could like go across a little bridge and get to like a kids clubhouse, and then go back or go across the bridge to the other end. I think that would be totally awesome. I would love that when I was a kid. And then they could have their hangout.
A few minutes ago, Kirkinen just needed some hugs. And
Snuggles?
attention.
Some snuggles?
Yeah, so he's fine.
Yeah.
Now he's running around.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Just resetting.
Yeah. Somebody would like to know, let's see. Aircrete. Oh, the guy that was talking about moving to an island. He wants to know, is it better to learn how to build aircrete homes or shipping container homes on his own, along with learning how to install a septic so that he can purchase an island that's not developed to save big? I think that's all preference.
Yeah, is whatever you want.
I mean, I guess it also depends on the environment, because like a container would not really do so well.
Well,
like
there are
the
some
ocean.
there are some people around here using shipping containers.
Right.
Do they make stainless steel shipping containers? I wouldn't want a shipping container unless it was stainless steel. And I understand they coat them with nice paint and everything, but paint always ends up with scratches or holes, and then you get a rust eventually. And I like to try to do things as long term as possible. So, I mean, that's why I'm doing it so much with concrete, and just because concrete lasts really long. But yeah, I don't know. It's whatever you want to do, and then you have to think about, can you get shipping containers? I mean, obviously you can. You could, charter a Chinook helicopter if you have enough money and get them to airlift pretty much anything anywhere. But like getting a shipping container here would be quite an ordeal.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be worth it. I'm really happy with the styrocrete that I've been doing, the styrofoam concrete stuff. Partly because it uses up what would otherwise be just a mountain of garbage, and also it insulates really well. It's a little bit flexible, so where concrete would crack, the styrocrete can kind of stretch and bend a little bit, and because it's lightweight, it doesn't put so much pressure on the clay here.
Toe
So
says that
toe maters.
yeah, he used to work on shipping containers and they don't last very long.
Oh well, there you go. He says shipping containers don't last. So
Jason says that they own an aluminum shipping container.
oh, that's cool. Is it like aluminum that's going to last, or will it like because it depends on what the alloy is.
John Chrisman says shipping containers are made from a formulation of steel that forms an oxide layer that prevents more oxidation.
Well, I
mean,
mean,
it also
that's
depends on the material.
Any iron or steel will rust and make a coating. It doesn't protect it forever. I mean,
Bosco brings up a good point. He says every home will have its own set of challenges.
That is true. That is a good point. You're never going to come up with the perfect
home. We were talking about like what is the thing you could use that has like the least amount of maintenance and
if you made a stainless steel house, but then the sun is going to make it so hot.
Yeah, so you gotta insulate it and so.
But just in terms of all that stuff, this styrocrete is really good. I wouldn't say it's without any flaws, but it's pretty good in terms of a building material, or just concrete in general. But concrete, the downside of regular concrete is just it's so heavy, and if you don't need that massive amount of compressive strength, then the styrocrete is great.
So
if you can find some garbage styrofoam.
So Abreka. I'm not pronouncing it correctly, I'm sure.
Was that like
It's the person who talked about the railway idea.
Okay, what's up?
Last time. Anyway, they say.
Oh, I do have to make a railway for when I make a lumber mill. So what's going on about?
They would like to know, have you heard of earth ships before? They're the buildings built into the soil using some recycled material and an interesting design philosophy.
Mike Reynolds. So there's a movie, you can watch it for free on YouTube, at least last I checked. And the movie is called Garbage Warrior. That was a little bit of inspiration for when I made my movie. When I was making my movie, I was like, I hope it's kind of like this movie Garbage Warrior. It's not going into theaters or anything, but it's like out there free on YouTube, and people will occasionally watch it and be like, wow, I learned something, and that was good. Anyway, in this movie, I've spoken about this before. In this movie Garbage Warrior, it talks about Mike Reynolds, and he's the guy who started the, earth ships. And basically he's just, building experimental houses. And what people talk about earthships now is kind of a watered down, standardized, governmentally accepted version. Ugh. But like the original thing is like he was very experimental, figuring out, just trying all kinds of different things and just figuring out what works. And he started getting into legal trouble because he was making these amazing homes that grew their own food. Like people could live in these homes grow their own food and just like, and have their own water, and like everything was self-contained. They didn't have to go anywhere or spend any money. And you know, the man doesn't like it when you're not spending money, so they went after him like pretty hardcore. And the second half of the movie is just so depressing. It's just him going into like what was it, Congress or something? I don't know. I don't remember what any of this political garbage is. There's some political place where there's like, you know, 1,000 politicians all wasting each other's time.
This isn't the guy out in Arizona, right?
Maybe New Mexico.
Yeah, New Mexico.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was thinking, I feel like I've
So
seen that
he
part.
just got crapped on so bad,
Yeah,
and they just
he had to get permits and all.
yeah, what they required him to do, and he was spending ridiculous amounts of money, like putting a big official road in because they needed him to have a road. As soon as he gets that done, they're just like, oh, here's 20 other things you have to do, and it didn't matter. And then finally he goes into, what is the political thing? I'll just call it the big political garbage building, whatever, the government office place, where they have all the talking, the hot, no, it's the whatever, doesn't matter.
That place, okay.
It's just a giant room where all the politicians waste all the tax money and everyone's time. Anyway, he worked with this lady who was a politician, doing all this stuff to try to get him permission just to have like a little experimental zone set aside where he could build some experimental homes so he could at least make them, even though no one can really live in them. Mm. Which is pathetic. I mean, it's not what he was really doing. But he was like, well, maybe I can at least get that.
He apparently lost his architect license too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they just crapped on this guy so bad. And this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning. Smart people figuring things out are getting trashed by the dumb people. So he managed to convince this lady to help him go around and get all these politicians to agree to, you know, vote for his thing. And then they just filibustered him. Yeah. Which basically is they just talked endlessly and wasted time. So they'd run out of time during the day, and then they couldn't get to his thing. And just watching this movie is like just sucked the energy out of my heart. And I was like, that was kind of one of the final straws, you know, seeing that for leaving the United States. I mean, I was already pretty much set that we were leaving the US and we had to go somewhere else. But after I watched that, I was like, oh yeah, I am totally making the right decision. We need to get out of here. And the funny thing is, so he's in the United States. He's getting just crapped on, like basically treated like a criminal, like he's a murderer or a rapist or something. And then in, I don't remember what it was, Haiti or Cuba or something. I don't remember where it was. There's some hurricane or monsoon or something, and all these houses got wrecked. And he goes over there with a bunch of his friends, and they start building houses. And he's just like, well, we'll use whatever building materials are here. And then he's a huge hero. So it's like you take like this unbelievably smart, useful, intelligent, imaginative guy, and you put him in a place with too much government, and he's just a criminal, you know. And then you put him in a place where he can actually accomplish things, where things make sense, and he's a hero. And this is what I'm saying about civilized versus not civilized. So what's more civilized? Like allowing a guy, you don't even have to make him do it. Like he just wants to do this. Like this is his passion. He's interested in this. He wants to go and make houses and you know, make it so people can have this good quality of life. What's more civilized? To shut him down and just bury him in paperwork and legal fees and just like throw him in jail, or let him make life better? To me, it's more civilized to let him do the thing, you know. And that's why we ended up moving to a place more like, you know, where the guy was a hero. You know, we're living in Central America, where it's in this area, people just do their thing. People are living their lives. There's not a lot of government, you know, oversight or control around here, because just I mean, there's not enough going on for anyone to care. There's not enough money involved here for anyone to
They also have no
get involved.
like way of controlling people. Like they
Oh,
can't
it
shut off
could
their
be done.
electricity or
No, but
water.
I mean, if they wanted to, they could show up with the police and shoot you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's stuff they can do. It's
Well,
not
they
like
can tell that's what they do.
Well, in town, yeah, but I'm just saying it doesn't matter where you are. There's something the government can do whatever the hell they want because
Yeah.
they steal all the money from people and they just use that resource to turn everyone against whoever they want. You paying them to fight you, basically. I mean, that's how I felt when I was in the United States. I felt like I was paying taxes to fund an army that was against me.
You look so much tanner than I do.
You're pale.
No,
See, I think I'm getting the color back. I still look a little bit zonked out. In case anyone missed it, we've been sick all week. Oh, my six-pack is amazing, though. It's so sexy. Oh. Because I didn't eat for like 2 days. I mean, I ate, just not that much.
John Chrisman says that he's been to the Earthship homestead in New Mexico, south of Tahoe, and it is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then he has a question.
Just imagine how much more cool stuff that guy could have figured out if they just let him keep doing it. Like,
he just didn't have enough money to force them.
What?
I'm just saying, like, that seems to be the way to
Who
do
didn't
it with
have
the
enough
government. Like, if you have enough money.
Oh, you mean you pay off people $1 billion?
Force them to stop bothering you eventually. Like,
no, you can't out money the government. The government, they're taking money from you and 300,000 other people. I mean, presuming you're in the United States, which is where he was. You can't out money them. You also can't out military them. They have the biggest military. They have the most money. You can't fight them. I mean, there were times through most of history you could fight back, but in more recent years when kings and lords or whatever just accumulate too many resources, there's no way to fight back against them. You can't do anything.
So apparently he can build legally now.
Yeah.
Others can too,
but can people live in his things? And here's the thing. He's got like a basic blueprint of a Earthship, which is a standardized thing, which is totally it defeats the point of what he was doing in the first place, which was being able to be experimental, to try new things. Once you take that experimental process and you standardize it, you lose any more progress. You're just stuck there. And it's great that he got things to that point, but if he could have kept trying things, I mean,
So Chris would like to know, are those internal flying buttresses for your cathedral?
Yes, they're internal flying buttresses. Buttresses!
Sean Connor's
buttresses. Dead. Yeah, I know, buttresses. Yeah.
It's too bad.
Well, that's enough out of you, Trebek.
But plants love Gatorade.
Butt plants?
Because it's got electrolytes.
I thought it was Brondo. But plants love Brondo because it's got electrolytes. It's what plants crave. But how do you know that it's good for plants? Well, it's got what plants crave. How do you know that? Because it's got what plants crave. How, don't you know anything?
Out of toilets.
What, you want to drink out of the toilet? Like a dog?
So, anyway.
You feed babies water out of the toilet?
I'm trying to see.
I'm quoting the movie Idiocracy, in case anyone missed that. Great movie. It's great how well it illustrates the direction that our current society is going.
Or is already.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, the more years go by, the less extreme that movie seems. I remember when it came out, we watched the movie and be like, oh, ha, ha, that's hilarious. That's so ridiculous and over the top. And then, like, 10 years later, it's like, that's so...
on point.
Oh, that's pretty much what's happening, yeah.
Let's see.
Welcome to Costco. I love you. Welcome to Costco. I love you.
Oh yeah.
Brondo, the Thirst Annihilator. Yeah, what's up?
So yeah, this is Steve Vest was saying that Elon Musk is one of the people that can fight back. He became the richest man in the world by simply recognizing what could be done that isn't stupid, like paying billions for a rocket to fly once. I mean,
Yeah, but then he wants to stick microchips in everyone.
Yeah.
So then it's like, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about Elon Musk to make any kind of judgment calls there, but there are definitely some red flags.
Do you guys ever find useful stuff floating in the ocean?
Oh yeah, I found a tennis ball on the way here this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you try playing a game?
I didn't try playing a game, no.
Did you try bouncing it?
I wanted Aurora to throw it for the dog.
She won't go after it.
She won't go after it? I can train her to go after a ball.
Her. I'm just saying she won't just
Hey dog, go get the ball.
She like looks at it and is just like
like down the wharf. She walks right behind me. But when the kids walk down the wharf, they like she like tramples their feet and runs in front of them and behind them and like.
Well, they're like for people.
Yeah, I'm just like dog, now, and she's like. She shakes for me. I'm like shake, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Probably because I'm scary. I'm scary.
You're kind of scary looking. These guys are funny. Jaimie's Valley Girl voice is funny. Did you do your Valley?
Like my Valley Girl voice? Like, oh my god, like I can't believe it. Like, oh my god, so like what is the next question?
To tell you to check out the fire pole in Mark Rober's latest video. Instead of a pole, it's a rope and puts you on the ground gently using a mnemonic.
Oh, please. That sounds stupid. I'm sorry. Maybe it sounds great. It puts you down gently?
Yeah.
It's got overcomplicated garbage that does it for you.
Yeah.
So like, instead of being a human being and sliding down and controlling myself, it will, all I have to do is get on the pole and it will do it for me.
I guess so. I don't know.
Wait, why don't I just get in a floating chair and live on the Axiom? We watched WALL-E the other day.
Apparently Musk says without these chips, humans will be put aside in terms of...
Well, that is the, yeah.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah, but then, like, yeah. So. Maybe. Yeah.
So Rolfie says no.
And it doesn't matter because like we're doing so many stupid things. Like the idea that humans might make it is so far-fetched at this point. Like so many things, we'd have to stop doing so many stupid things to have any chance of making it, which is insane because we're it's just like the smart people are aware of this and can see the problems, but there are so many dumb people, and the smart people have shown the dumb people how to do things. Yeah. And then the dumb people are like, oh, if I push this button, it makes a loud noise. Ooh, I'm going to do it 1,000 times. Yeah. Oh, you mean I can control people's minds if I do the marketing this way and I make a commercial do this and this and this? Oh, someone wrote a nice instruction manual of how to manipulate people. Propaganda. Oh, good. I don't have to be smart enough. I can just read the instructions one step at a time.
She can come up, or it's fine.
Oh, so frustrating. Yeah. Smart people, stop telling the dumb people how to do things. But it's too late at this point. There's too many things have been given to dumb people, and dumb people are just running full speed with all this stuff.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Rudy basically is saying like humans will hit a wall eventually soon.
I don't know. I guess you could argue that we've hit a wall.
Hit the wall, so.
And we're just kind of like slowly sinking.
Hi.
I don't know.
Are you ready for nap time?
The artificial intelligence thing. There's a chance that an artificial intelligence would not want to just destroy us. Now, if they found us amusing like little hamsters? No, I don't think it would. See, the thing is, the artificial intelligence has to not be us. If the artificial intelligence is going to take our example, oh yeah, it's going to annihilate us. It's going to be like, oh, these stupid things. But if you can't look at it like it's a human. You know, like, it's going to toy around with us. Why would it toy around with us? Like, why wouldn't it become more intelligent and figure out something better to do? Like, say, well, these humans are kind of a waste of time right now, but maybe they'll develop into something. Let's just leave them. And since I'm an artificial intelligent, super intelligent thing that can do anything, well, let's go off to some other planets and, just do whatever we want.
John Chrisman is asking how you can buy a shirt.
Oh, those are hard to find, man. Those are hard to find.
But to answer the question, the shop is actually a Canadian shop. So
because I was born in Canada.
So you should be able to click right on the Spreadshirt store shop.
So like totally like go to the like Spreadshirt story and like click on the buttons. So for getting a shirt, and
description.
Y'all hosers can just do that and take off, That about covers it, my Canadian voice,
Are you going to build that better outboard motor for the boats?
Which better outboard motor? I don't know.
I'm gonna get a motor soon.
Yeah, you're gonna get a motor, but I think my favorite motors are the long shaft motors. Just like motor, shaft, propeller.
What is
that what he's talking about? Skookum?
Yeah. That's what John said about the shirts.
Oh, the shirts look skookum, eh? I don't actually know what skookum is, but
I don't either.
This is not one of the shirts. I painted this one like 15 years ago or something. This is a really old one. It was like in a box. I pulled it out. Yeah, I painted it on with a roller and a stencil. And this is just because there's a pocket here. Yeah, I didn't miss a spot. It's just a pocket.
Apparently, Astral Economics is offering to pay you to find him a private island. And he's posted that twice.
Well, if he...
now somebody needs to tell me what Skookum is. Okay, Rolfie, you better tell me.
What's Skookum? And he wants to live on an island like in this environment, like maybe coming here.
Astral Economics, here is what I will say to you. Send us an email and then we can talk about the details. Okay? I think that would be easier than trying to figure it out through a chat.
Right, but I just want the basics. So yeah, if you're actually serious about maybe wanting to move here, like there is some land around. There isn't a, how do you say it? I mean, I've explained this before. Like looking for land around here, or looking for land in a lot of places, you'll get the best deal if you go to a place and you kind of get to know people a little bit, and find some land that's not specifically for sale, but someone would sell it, and because if people are trying to sell land and they go through a real estate agent, you can just it's so expensive.
Half of your money to buy for no reason.
No, it's like adding a zero to the price. Like this island we're on was $5,000, and there's another island not too far from here, about the same size, $50,000 with a real estate agent in town. Yeah, like literally 10 times the price. And you could probably negotiate it down a little, but still, like it's on the order of 10 times if you're going with a real estate agent. But yeah, if you stay in a place, and we got some of our friends an island a couple of years ago.
You want to know what scope?
Basically, just by asking people around, in the area and introducing them and saying, these are our friends. They want to move here. They're looking for an island, and yeah, within a couple months, we found them something that was good, and they ended up buying it.
Skookum is rock solid. It means tough, very cool, bulletproof, works good, quality thing.
Oh.
Well, not really bulletproof, but just
I was going to say
tough, very cool.
That'd be cool if my shirt was bulletproof.
Yeah. So there's that. And then they're having a conversation about railroads, and apparently Joseph Blomeister loves railroads, and he started an HO model railroad but never finished it. Later had the fantasy of a narrow gauge railroad on my mountain land.
Nice, that's cool.
Yeah,
mountains are hard to make railroads on.
Train engineering.
Although if you had a railroad on a mountain, you can just have like a winch at the top to pull it up and down. Yeah, your uncle is a train engineer, that's right.
He sent all those trains.
He's like super tall too.
Yeah, he's like 4, 5.
Does he hit his head on the ceiling of the train? They must make the trains for big people.
Yeah.
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 Maybe that's why he sticks his head out the window all the time, because he's too tall.
Could be.
Yeah. I'd love to have a train, like on our big piece of land over there. Having a railway around is just, that's kind of a lot of material.
Rex Clay would like to know if there's
Rex Clay.
malaria here.
No, actually, this is one of the places that there is no malaria currently. Yeah.
Did you know I learned something about
You didn't.
salmonella yesterday?
Yeah.
Evening when I was awake.
Did you learn that has nothing to do with salmon?
No.
Oh.
I learned that a certain strain of it actually is what causes typhoid. Apparently.
Like and Typhoid Mary?
Yeah, and that apparently there's like different types of E. coli, which is a different bacterial thing, and there's good E. coli and bad E. coli.
Well, I'll take the good one. Can I have the good one?
So, yeah. So there's that. And there's a guy in Redmond, Washington that has an 11-inch gauge railroad around his property.
Oh, no way.
John apparently has ridden it. It's a steam-driven locomotive, and
That's
cool. Amazing.
That does sound pretty awesome. I wonder, where do the guy get the tracks, and how much do they cost per meter or foot or whatever? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not ready for that now. Anyway, no, I got a few other things I need to do.
Yeah. So. It's so funny to see we have a bunch of little members pop up in our chat. They all have the little adventure builder symbol.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool, I believe it.
Thanks, courtesy of Tomaters.
Tomaters. Yeah. Tomater.
So.
Do you know there was Tomater in that movie? You know, the truck? Yeah, and Cars. The tow truck.
Yeah.
He was actually named after a human being.
Yeah, you were talking about that on the boat the other day.
There was this guy who ate lots of tomatoes when he was a kid, and so they nicknamed him Mater, and he said it's like tomato without the toe.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. And he liked to watch race cars.
And he watched race cars or car races.
Rex Clay says thanks, Jaimie, for all your videos over the years.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad you appreciate them.
Yeah. Apparently Chinook, native word from BC. Skookumchuck is a place.
Oh. What?
That's what you just said. I might not have read that correctly.
Chinook native word from...
I can't read Canadian.
Skookumchuck is a place.
Yeah.
Tomater.
So, I'm tired. I'm going to put the baby down for a nap.
All right.
You can do whatever you want.
Well, what else am I supposed to talk about right now?
I think that's it.
You think that's it? You think I'm zonked out?
Yeah. Wait, there's one more question. Do you guys do much composting?
Yes. I have, well, you have all those banana circles, which is like you dig a hole and take the dirt and make it in a mound around the hole. And what's it, like 6 or 8 feet across or whatever? And then plant banana trees along the high part of the, and then put compost in the middle, and it feeds all the banana trees. So I have one of those. And then I have a few planter boxes made out of logs. And they're made out of logs because I plan to keep making raised beds all over until it's just all raised beds, and then I'll just throw dirt in between, and then the logs will disintegrate, and then the whole land will just be higher. And then I'll stay ahead of the global warming, sea rise. You know how it is. So
Annie would like to remind you to be kind to yourself and rest when you are ill. She's from Somerset.
Somerset, Massachusetts?
No, England.
Somerset, England.
Yeah. And Anonymatron would like to know, how many roads must a man walk down?
None. Walk down no stinking roads. You can make your own dang roads the whole time. Yeah. Dang all. All right. Sometimes when I rest, I end up feeling worse, and then I'll do something really, really vigorous and energetic, and then I'll feel more rested. Oh, there's another question that just popped up. What's that?
John Chrisman would like to know if you're using the methane gas bag.
Oh, not a bag. I don't want a bag. I hate bags because they don't last.
Oh, actually, I wanted to talk about something. I just totally
Well, I should
forgot.
answer this.
It's
Don't forget.
related to that.
Okay, go ahead.
So last week we were talking about gas and smell, and
Sorry, was that me again?
apparently you can't smell methane, which is why
Right.
they add a smell to
Yeah.
like the gas things. So I just wanted to say thanks for Matt's awesome stuff for like pointing out the ridiculousness of our conversation last week about smelling gas, when in fact what we were probably smelling was just like decomposed.
Wait, what's this wee stuff?
Oh, that I was smelling was probably like just
Poo?
decomposed poop. But the weird thing is it totally smells like gasoline, like that you put in your car, which they probably add a smell to also. I don't know. But um, at any rate, when I was talking to you about the smell, you were like, "Oh, do you smell anything? Because then it must be producing gas or whatever." So that was where the
Oh yeah, totally, man, totally.
So
Yeah, totally.
gas has the methane gas has no smell. I just wanted to correct myself.
Well, what if I can smell it?
I don't think you can.
I might be able to smell it.
I don't think so.
I want to do a test.
The,
I want some pure methane. I'm gonna see if I can smell it.
yeah. Yeah, I don't think so.
I can smell carbon monoxide. They say you can't smell that.
Hmm.
But it's not even so much that I smell it as much as I like feel it. You know,
Yeah,
it feels like it's different kind of air. And I'm like, oh,
yeah. So Joseph says you can stay a while more if you want, if you feel like it, Jaimie.
All right, I'll stay a while longer.
I just want my tablet back soon.
The funny thing is, like, since I've been sick for the whole week, I'm actually sweating just sitting here.
Yeah,
not a lot or anything.
I'm turning the fan on.
But like just a little. I can feel my sweat coming. Actually, my back. Oh yeah, my back's sweaty. Oh, gross.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah, Blackwater Boys says he can smell.
Rolfie.
That's who?
That's Rolfie.
That's Rolfie.
Yeah.
Like the Muppet. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can smell carbon monoxide too. Although he didn't say he can smell, he can tell it's there. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't say I can smell it, but like if I mean this hasn't happened in a long time, but if I walk into a garage and something has been burning in there that has no odor, it just feels like the air is stale. Or if there's a fire that's just smoldering and mostly out, like can't really smell any smoke or anything, but yeah, it'll still be producing carbon monoxide, and it's like you can kind of feel it, not really smell it. Yeah, it just feels different. Yeah, kind of like the feel. Yes, the gas from a biodigester is going to smell. Okay, yeah, before Dashaina totally mangled what I was saying, or made me forget. She's rolling her eyes right now. Oh yeah, I was saying about gas bags. So one way to do the biodigester gas is to have a bag that inflates and deflates. But the way I'm doing it is kind of a more old style way, which is where there's the one container. I don't have any props right now. Oh, I do have some props. Okay, you got one container, and this is filled with poo and food and just decomposing stuff in here, right? And the top is blocked off, and then you got your tube coming out here that you can get methane out. So the top here is methane, and the bottom here is we'll just call it poo. And then you have a tube coming out of here going into this container, right? So as the water pressure builds up here, it pushes the poo down and pushes the poo through the tube and moves it up here. But then as you use up gas on this side, the pressure of the weight of all the poo here pushes back down and pushes the gas out. So as long as this poo level is below this one, you'll still have gas pressure. But once they end up leveled out, then that's like all the gas you can use. So then you have to wait for this to produce more gas and like push down. So that way, the only moving parts you have is the liquid itself. So you can make your containers out of something solid like concrete or plastic or whatever. but something hard, so that you're not having a plastic bag that's moving that's eventually gonna get little cracks or rips or whatever. So I like that way of doing it. Oh my gosh, what did I miss? What did I miss? I make a big thud when I smell CO and carbon monoxide. Yeah, that's not a good thing. That's a bad thing. Do you do any welding? I notice a lot of rivet connections. I have done welding. I have not done a lot of welding since we moved to Central America. I do have my welder here, which I haven't even used yet. The only welding I've done here is on the kid's car, which, and I fixed I fixed a handle on Dashaina's bowl, and I welded my kid's car, which I'm still in the process of making. And those are both stainless steel. And the way I did it was I had a bunch of solar panels on a boat, and those were all connected in parallel, so giving me 24 volts with something like 100 amps. And so I connected one wire to the material and used I used 2 pairs of vice grips. I connect one wire to the material and the other wire to a stainless welding rod. Just what do you call it? Arc welding rod. Those rods, the little electrode things. And I just did it with that. And it worked pretty well, actually. It was a little harder to get it started because it doesn't have a huge startup current, because it's just the current maxes out at whatever the solar panels are. It didn't appear to damage the solar panels or anything, because the solar panels will only create a certain amount of current. It's not like they're creating the power, so it's not like they're going to overpower themselves, right? And but once I got the arc going, it worked pretty well. I didn't have a mask at the time, so I was doing it, the try not to look style. So it was like, all right, oh, missed, oh, okay, got it, like that. But it came out pretty good. Like when I did the reason I welded part of the car for the kids is because I wanted the frame to be really strong, and it appears to be really strong, very solid. It has none of the cracks have broken or anything, although everything else is riveted. And then your bowl, that never came apart, so the welding seems to have worked well. And it hasn't broken though. Yeah, it's been dropped on the bowl's been dropped on the ground a few times, and the welds have not broken. So the welding has worked well. But I really like rivets. Partly because they look kind of like old cool stuff, and partly because you don't have to weld. Like welding is, what's that?
There was a question about the rivets. Do you do anything with the ends?
Hold on, there's a question about rivets. Do I do anything with the ends? What does that mean?
The little end piece that comes off.
Oh, so the question is, do I do anything with the piece of a rivet that comes out? So I need another prop. Oh, I'll use my finger. Oh, no, yeah, I'll use my finger. So the way rivets work is you drill a hole, and then you take one of these rivets and you put it in here, and you attach a thing that goes, and it like bends the inside. Well, it kind of flares it, but my finger won't do that. So it bends it, and then you rip off the end, and then you have like a piece of metal going through that's fatter here and fatter there, so it locks it together, right? But when it's doing that, it's pulling this like nail through to spread the metal on the other side. So you end up pulling this nail out of your rivet. So then you end up with this like little rod of metal, kind of like a nail. My aluminium ones often break in half while I'm doing them, and I end up just throwing them in a bucket that has scrap aluminum that I'll at some point probably melt down into things. But the stainless steel ones, whenever I get a stainless steel one, I always keep them in a bucket, and I just call them stainless nails because they're just basically stainless steel nails. So I use those for anything I need stainless steel nails for, like either hammering nails into something, but I'll only use them for something that's going to be really long term. I'm not going to waste them on like something where the wood's going to rot in 2 years and then I lost my nail because it falls in the ocean or whatever. But I'll always use them for things like if I'm making hinges, because I never buy hinges, I just make them. But those stainless rivet leftovers make good hinge pins, and they're good for a lot of things. You know, it's just like a little rod of stainless steel. What was I talking about before that?
You were talking about why you use rivets.
You use the break off of the rivets on the hinges for the toolbox. Yes, on my aluminum toolbox I made recently. Yeah, when I made the hinges, I used the stainless steel pins that came out of rivets for that. What was that?
I was following what you were talking about.
What was I talking about?
You were talking about why you like to use rivets versus welding.
Oh yeah, why I like to use rivets instead of welding. So partly just because they look cool. I do think they look super cool. And the other thing is they don't warp the material. You know, whenever you weld, you know, if you have thin material, it'll heat the material and it'll warp it. So that won't happen whenever you use rivets. And you can also get the rivets off if you ever want to change what you've made, you know, take it apart or whatever. If you weld something, like you have to grind and cut it to get it back. A crap on welding though, because welding is amazing when you've got something where welding is the good thing to do. Like welding is super awesome when you've got set up. And you know, my favorite welding to do is just oxyacetylene, like the old style welding on normal steel. Man, you can do such a nice job of that. And it's just, yeah, it's easy to do a super duper nice job of that. Although if I had to pick one kind of welding that I could use, I'd probably pick MIG welding, because it's like kind of like the easiest to do anything with. You know, if you have a MIG welder with the flux core, oh, it's like, I mean, as long as you get a little bit of practice, like an idiot can do it. It's almost like using a glue gun, just, you know, just melting your metal together. I mean, you have to practice a little bit first, but once you get it, it's super easy to do. It does come out messier than oxyacetylene though, because man, oxyacetylene welds can come out so nice. MIG welding aluminum sucks though, because it melts and turns into liquid so fast. You have to be really careful not to get it too hot. Oh, this guy likes welding because you don't have to drill holes. That is true. Now, part of my thing about not being into welding lately probably has a lot to do with how much welding I did a few years ago, like on the giant robot and on a bunch of other stuff. Like for a few years, I was welding a lot. So I was always wearing the mask, and they're always the fumes, and I probably just kind of got a little bit tired of welding. So maybe at some point I'll get tired of drilling holes and putting rivets and things, but right now I really like rivets. Those hinges were the nuts. Those are good hinges too. Yeah, this guy says rivets are tough too. They are tough. And this guy says Jaimie is riveting. Oh, yeah, Dashaina has a question. What's up?
People were asking some things about my house.
Some people were asking some. Oh, I have one more thing to say about riveting and welding before we get to that. So I do want to build an aluminum boat. Oh, are you coming to hang out again because the baby fell asleep?
Yeah.
Cool. So I want to build this aluminum boat, and I want to build it out of marine grade aluminum, and I want to rivet it all. Except I can't get, like, you know, 24 or whatever 30-foot long sheets. So I'm going to have to rivet like below the water level, and it would probably be better to weld those parts. So in those cases, maybe welding would be better, but I'd want to do rivets all above that. I don't know, I did look at some not blind rivets, flush rivets though, that, you know, once you put the rivet, you drill like a V-shaped hole, you know, like countersunk. Oh gosh, my brains are not working. For anyone who missed it, I've been sick all week. So countersunk rivets, so they actually end up flush. But anyway, go ahead. What are you talking about?
So recently I mentioned on my channel that I was going to be building a new house.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really want to mention it on my channel because of the conversation that was going to bring up.
Why is that?
Well,
Or,
because now a lot of people, are concerned about the safety of my current home and how
oh, it's not going to
the
fall down or
sky is
anything.
falling and we're all going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh,
Anyway,
no, your house isn't going to fall over.
It also brought up some kind of, I think, valid questions.
Well, should I cover your house falling over?
Well, let me just ask.
It's not going to fall over. But go ahead.
The big question that seems to be on everybody's mind is, what have you learned? Like, what has your takeaway been from this particular house, and how has it helped you to improve your building technique on your current house and any future things? What were your big takeaways from this experience?
I see. I think there's a different question, which is more, you never felt like this was your house.
Mm-hmm.
You say so quietly, like yeah, or like you're disagreeing.
I agree with you.
So I think that was the big problem with this house, because you never felt like it was your house. Like you never really took ownership of it and like said, this is my house, I'm going to make it whatever. You've always kind of thought of it as like just, I don't know, like too associated with me, and we have a lot of bad history and stuff.
I think regardless of that, people just want to know if you learned anything that you applied to your...
No, I already knew everything.
Okay.
I knew everything in the universe.
What was that?
No, shush. I don't know. It's hard to say like if I really learned anything. Maybe I learned stuff specifically about the clay we're on.
Well, that's, I think, what
just
the big
like,
question is. Like, what did you learn from doing this?
I'm trying to say that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I was a little bit surprised about is that the side of the house that's in the water is actually a better foundation than I was expecting.
Why would you say that? I mean, I'm not...
Well, it's because... So the one under your house over here, which is on old clay, and then there's a piece in the middle that has some new clay, and then there's a part that's in the water. I was kind of expecting the whole thing to kind of like sink that way a little bit. But it's more like the two sides are supported and the middle sunk a little bit. So yeah, I was just kind of surprised at how good a foundation the part in the water was.
Right.
Like, it's basically the ground where the mangroves are.
Because it's all still visible. Like, it's not like it's...
Yeah, it's just sitting on what kind of looks like muck, but it's like, it's solid, it's really solid.
Like, you can walk up to the pieces and see the little footings.
Yeah, and they haven't really sunk.
Right.
And like, you can, like, just by the cracks in the building, you can tell it's sunk not there, more than there. So other than that, I don't know, it's like,
I mean, would you say that...
I think I learned things that are hard to explain, like just in terms of, like when you do something, you get experience, then you kind of get a feel for something, and then if someone asks you to teach them it, it's like, it's not anything I could put in a book, It's like I kind of have a feel for how the material works and stuff, like how it's going to move, and yeah.
Would you say that you've used any of those skills on your...
I have gone absolutely psycho nuts on any termites, because I think the biggest problem with your house, where the places where it has sunk, is that the termites got under there and pulled dirt out from under your house, and just like undermine the foundation, like took dirt out from under your house, and that's where it's sunk. It's where the termites pulled the dirt out. Mm-hmm. So at my house, I see one termite, I'm like, kill it, and I'll try to follow them, and I'll I'll find a termite nest somewhere in my house and light it on fire.
In your house?
Not at my house, on my island.
Oh, I was like, wow, they're
I told
fast.
you, I've been sick all week. My brains are not working right. My dome is not functioning at ultra capacity. Oh, what if I look like this all the time?
Some other people would like to know, what is your plan with this house? Like, do you think you'll just leave it, or do you think you'll take the pieces and use them for something cool, or just like
I don't know what to do with
put a
it.
pile
It's
of
like
dynamite in the middle and
it's not like a kind of thing that could easily be moved or dismantled. And if no one's taking care of it, it's like it's not going to fall over.
Right.
And the reason I say it's not going to fall over is because it all leans in on itself, and it's a dome shape. Like it'll just fall onto itself. Like it's, even if it's broken up into pieces, it's, it's like an igloo, like just like any dome, like it's just leaning all on itself. So it's just going to hang out. And just, I don't know. What do you want to do with it? Put the chickens in it. You can put the chickens in it.
God.
They would have like a mega palace in here.
So disgusting.
But anyway, so you're gonna make a house, and you're gonna make it this time, and that way you'll feel like it's your house. Yeah.
Probably.
I just had chocolate milk burp. Oh, it tasted great. What do you mean probably? Should we not talk about that?
I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay, fine.
What's the motor sound in the background? A fan?
It's a fan blowing on the baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I could use one of those right now. So I bought
sucking some of the hot air away from us.
I bought a bunch of these. You don't have one not attached to anything, right? It's just like a 24-volt fan about that big. Like a computer fan, but like a big one. And I got them for $1 a piece by buying a box of 30, I think, from a surplus place. Normally they were like $30 each or something, but if I bought a whole box. And I'm wondering if they were so cheap and in the surplus place because they're so loud. Yeah, so loud. They probably made them, send them to the company that ordered them, and the company was like, what the, this is, no. It's like, sounds like an airplane taking off. So anyway, we got them for like next to nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work great though. What are you looking at?
I'm just reading.
What are you reading?
Have you seen piezo fans?
Piezo. How do you say that? I've never said that word out loud, actually. Piezo.
Piezo.
No, what is that?
I don't know. The fan apparently is a perfect B flat today.
What was it the other day?
I don't remember.
What is a piezo fan? I mean, I know what a piezo crystal is. It's like it oscillates in some way, like to make the fan.
The fan oscillate in some way then?
I don't know. Well, I guess it could if it had like a flapper.
Yeah, several people have brought up, turning this into a rental, but I think the amount of work that's gonna have to go into it is probably not gonna happen.
Okay, here's the problem with that. I think no one's gonna take care of this place.
Right.
And I'm not doing it because I'm doing my island, and you don't have strong connection to this place. Like you don't want to take care of this place either.
I mean, I just feel like the amount of work that is going to be required for the amount of rental that we're going to make from it is just not going to be worth the amount of energy spent on it, for some people to come out and have a vacation.
Never minding the amount of work it took to build it.
No, I know it took a lot of work to build it, and that's why I think that if...
Anyway, let's not get into that.
Yeah. But I think that it has served a good usage for the children to have a safe place to live, and
things like bomb-proof. Yeah. If the zombies were coming to attack right now, this would be the place to go. Like my house is pretty good, but this house is like the zombies are not getting in. Yeah. Not that there's zombies coming.
Oh, there might be.
And wait, why don't we have a real apocalypse? That was the worst apocalypse ever, wasn't it?
Piezo, whatever, is the same thing as crystal, no moving parts.
Yeah, so how does it work in the fan? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah. I don't know.
What? There was something recently that came up that I wanted to look up on the internet. And that's all the thought I've got in my head right now. And that's as far as it goes. I don't remember what it was. Never mind.
Okay. Question. So somebody is still asking about the dome, and they want to know if it's bound to sink or what needs to be done exactly.
Someone trying to move in here. No, I think it's fine. It's going to sit here for like the next 1,000 years. It's just going to be here. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what would actually end up destroying this building. Like if you left it long enough. I don't know. Maybe the concrete down on the saltwater side would degrade enough that it would crumble and then the whole thing would
But it would be like a side dome.
Yeah, it'd be like a big like a horn of plenty. Like a big like a clamshell concert thing.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's not going to happen anytime soon.
No. Okay.
Okay.
I think that's all I've got.
That's all you've got?
Yep.
Okay, 2 more questions and we go have lunch. What are we doing for lunch today? Yeah. Oh, we should talk about the pizza place.
Oh wait, there's one more. I did talk about it. Oh wait, yeah, I
Well,
did talk about it too. That's a good idea. Wait, it says, question, won't one of your mini-me's want the house pretty soon?
Will one of your mini-me's want this house pretty soon?
I don't know if they're willing to do the work.
I think I think they should build their own houses.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll help them build their houses, but when they're ready for houses, I want to help them build their own houses. Carcanyon said...
Tomato says, let the people that want to rent the place, let them fix it up.
I mean...
The problem there is that I have tried letting volunteers do
oh,
the
God,
work that needs
yeah.
to be done, and...
But you have to have someone
you have to have
competent.
Skilled
yeah.
in concrete work.
And you don't even have to be that skilled. You just have to be competent. But like in today's world, you know, most people live in these civilized places and they don't learn any kind of competence. They don't learn any skills. And well, they'll learn one skill, like whatever their job is. But like just general competence, a lot of people don't have that. Like you have to figure out if someone is just generally competent before you let them, you know, start working on something like this, or else they just make it worse. Like everything they do is worse.
Do you want to tell them about the pizza place? Because Rolf
yeah.
is now on pizza.
So there's a pizza place over there, which when did we find this out? 2 weeks ago.
Well,
you're like,
I've known about it for a while.
Well, yeah, we've kind of heard about it a little bit, but we didn't like really know anything about it.
Yeah,
but then a couple weeks ago, you were like, hey, what's her face is going to get pizza. And my dad said, go get one. So I got a pizza. And I was like, what? You got a pizza? I'm like, how is it? And you said it's pretty good. So every Thursday and Friday, they have happy hour and pizzas are cheap and, well, cheaper. And we went over and got 2 pizzas the other day on Thursday. Yeah. And it was great.
Yeah,
but they're normally like...
They're normally like
$10
to $12 depending on what's on them.
But like happy hour, they're $8.
Yeah.
If you go...
Actually, they're $9 to $12. Yeah, so you get $1 off for the least expensive one.
I thought we paid $8.
No, I know. I'm saying normally they're $9 to $12, and then happy hour they're $1 off for the cheapest one, $8. But it actually comes with like pretty good amount.
Yeah, how's that the cheapest one? We got 3 toppings on each one.
Price.
Yeah, we got pepperoni and.
Yeah, you're gonna meat and 2 vegetables.
What was it?
Pepperoni.
Peppers and mushrooms and stuff. Anyway, we got 2 pizzas.
And onions.
Over there. It's pretty good. So we drove over and got them. And the people were very nice too. Yeah, so yeah, there's a pizza place right over there. I mean, it's a couple miles away. Not right there.
It's 2 miles away, I think.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah, maybe 2.5, 3.
Well,
2 or 3 miles.
From here to the shop is 3-ish.
Yeah.
So, it's not the same distance.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so maybe once in a while we'll go get pizzas.
How many pizzas can you eat before he gets full?
Normally, oh man, I've eaten a lot of pizzas in a row before. but it also depends what size they were. The other day we got 2 pizzas and that was good, but I was also, feeling kind of sick. I didn't want to eat that much. Still, I did eat most of a pizza, and
Now you're getting lots of pizza.
they're pretty good sized pizzas. Paint does fix a lot of stuff. Paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, just cover it in paint.
Well, I mean, the thing about paint and the concrete, which I tried and doesn't work very well, and I've tried it in several different areas, the type of paint that I'm willing to spend, buy, which is not expensive, it just eventually
Peels off.
comes off, rubs off, wipes off. Like if you go to wipe the wall, the paint comes with it.
I want to put sodium silicate. Is that what it is? Water glass on my roof when I'm done, which is it kind of waterproofs the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to find, but you can make it with crystal kitty litter and lye.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to try that and actually do it.
Because
what?
What? I don't know how cheap kitty litter is, really.
How a kitty litter can't cost that much. Cats are pooping in it. No one's spending $100 on cat poop catcher.
I know. They're
Right?
also, I mean, how much do you need?
Oh, I don't. It's just to paint on the concrete. It's not like I'm dumping buckets of it on there or anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a quantity. Like, how much of it do you need for whatever thing? Like, do you have to grind it up and stuff?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Okay.
No, you don't grind it up. You dissolve it in water.
Okay. Kitty litter dissolves in water?
Yes, it does if you heat it up.
Oh, okay, cool.
Not the clay kitty litter, the crystal kitty litter, the one that's silica. It's like, like in those desiccant packs.
Okay.
Silica gel.
Yeah.
That. And I don't even know if it would dissolve in water on its own, but it does with the lye. So whatever. Like whatever, Dad. Like totally whatever. What do you want for lunch?
Pizza.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting pizza.
Somebody wants to know what type of crust are they, thin, regular, or pan style?
It was pretty good crust.
Yeah, I would say it was like a blend.
I would call it average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one I got had a lot of crust, but
Yeah.
then when we got the 2 pizzas the other day, it was pretty decent.
I really want to make pizza with my new sourdough bread. So, I make a lot of bread here because like flour's cheap and I have coconuts, and coconuts don't, you can get sick of coconuts pretty easily, but shredded coconut in bread is great. Like it goes really well in bread. So I've been making a lot of coconut bread, and my coconut bread is like 50% coconut. It's a lot of coconut. Anyway, like a week ago, I got a sourdough starter from Dashaina, and a sourdough starter is basically you take flour and water and put it in a container, and you keep adding flour and water, and it turns to life. Like it turns into the blob, and it's like alive and it's breathing, and it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? It starts talking to you out of the jar and stuff. But anyway, you've had a sourdough starter for how many years? Many years.
Lots of years.
So I got a couple of scoops of this and took it home and started feeding it some flour and water. And the first day it was like, and the second day it was like, more. Anyway, so I took, it just makes this slimy blob, bubbly thing. And
it's kind of fluffy.
It's kind of fluffy, yeah. It's just like, it just makes bubbles, and it's slime. It's like slimy and bubbly. So then then I poured some of it out into a bowl. I'm basically telling you how to make sourdough bread at this point. I poured some out into a bowl and added a bunch of flour, and it was liquidy enough that I didn't have to add any more water. But if, I have to add whatever water is necessary. And then I added a bunch of, most of a shredded coconut and some salt, and that's it. And then you just stir it up and then smush it and knead it up until you have some good dough, and then let it sit there, and the sourdough stuff in there starts making bubbles, and it fluffs it up, just kind of like if you put yeast in the bread. It makes the bubbles and it fluffs it up, so you leave it for a while, and then you eventually cook it, and then you get bread. And I really like the sourdough bread because once it's been kind of eaten and pooed out by the whatever bacteria or whatever garbage is in there, it's like better for you, right?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
partially digests
So
it.
yeah, partially digests it. So like when I have the bread that's made with yeast, I can only eat a certain amount before I start being like, whoa, it's too much bread. I'm just like, feeling like like black. But the sourdough, I can eat like 5 times more. And it doesn't, I mean, I'll get tired of bread, but it doesn't make me feel like, like sick kind of. It doesn't give me that I'm wheat intolerant kind of feeling.
Apparently water glass is used to preserve eggs.
Yeah, you can like dip it in and it coats them. Is that what you do?
That's what Warren says.
Yeah.
Hi, Warren.
But the thing is, like, how long do you need to save some eggs? They already last.
You need to get through like a winter or something.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. But if you're in a winter, you just put stuff outside. That's what we used to do. Just put it out in the snow, like anything. That was the best thing about having a winter. You're right. Yeah, you're going on a shippy voyage. Yeah, it's true. Eggs. Yeah.
So.
What do you think is easier, taking a chicken on a ship? No, because then you have to take all their food. Stupid chickens.
Yeah.
Feed them. Chickens are.
And then they're so unreliable.
Yeah. Oh god, this kid's butt is so bony.
Apparently, Morgan James C. is in South Royalton, Vermont.
Oh.
Friends, greetings from South Royalton, Vermont.
That's where we used to live. Don't forget to hit that like button.
So, apparently, Rolfie's wife Misty just made banana bread, and it was real good.
Oh, I've got a huge thing of bananas coming out of my banana tree. Okay. In the video, I made a video this week because I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't made a video in like a week and a half or something, and I'm about to run out of videos. So I made a video of when I was sick, and I showed my bananas. I've got a huge. I've got a huge thing of bananas coming out of my giant banana tree. I've got one huge banana tree. I've been thinking like it's huge. Like I've been wondering when the heck it's gonna make bananas because this thing has gotten enormous. And yeah, it looks like it's making a huge bunch of bananas, which is, a minor problem because it's gonna be like 250 bananas at once. I need to figure out how to get them to ripen like in sequence, not all in like the same 2 or 3 days. Because like I can eat a lot of bananas at once, but man, I can't eat like 250. And even the kids, like Carcannon and Bellatrix, they can each eat like 10 bananas a day, no problem. But like, it's just so many at once.
Do you know anything about bioconcrete?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, maybe.
Somebody was asking if you had time to look into it. I don't know what it is.
Probably not. I mean, there's that whole, what's it called?
Do you ever sing the I've Got a Lovely Bunch of Coconuts song?
No, I've never heard that one. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. I would love to have some nice coconuts to play with. What?
Big one, small one. Somebody would like to know if it's made from Captain Morgan's original sourdough yeast.
No. It's just made from
coconut rum.
It's just made from flour and water in a jar, right?
Rum reference.
No, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Carcannon saying mama.
No, right, that's somebody being asked.
What's up, Carcannon? You want to come up, dude?
Okay. Joseph says hi to the kids.
Oh, hi to the kids, Joseph from the kids.
Joseph Blowmeister.
Man, you guys are going crazy when we started this today.
Yeah.
How are you feeling, Bellatrix?
Are you still sick?
The
question about how many pizzas you can eat before you get full.
Depends what I've been doing.
Right now.
Right now, I don't think I could eat that much.
Yeah, I don't think you either.
Just because, like, I've hardly eaten over the last week. Not like I haven't eaten at all. It's just I haven't been eating a lot. For like 2 days, I almost didn't eat anything, which is fine. I mean, a day or two without eating is not a big deal for me.
Ken has to go back to work, so he says
go to work, Ken. Have fun. We need to wrap this up. Yeah, shut up and go make some lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go make some lunch.
Yeah, go make some lunch.
I'm not even that hungry though. It's because I've been lazing around. Although
I can't smell anything, so I really have like no appetite.
Yeah. How you feeling, Bellatrix? Are you feeling any better?
Yeah.
Do you think your big adult teeth are getting to straighten out soon?
Yeah, we're straightening out.
Yeah, they're straightening. They were funny when they first came in.
Yeah. I'll do that. All right. Let's go.
All right, let's go do something.
Let's go. The background sound is Starlink.
That's what it is. That's why I don't want Starlink, because I don't want it's too noisy, man. You know, those Starlink fans are just, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess we should say bye, Elon.
Have a great day.
Have a great day,
That'd
Elon.
be funny if he was watching this, like, hey guys, what's up? Got nothing else to do, you know.
Yeah, so his like days are like organized by the minute.
Yeah, I know.
Can you imagine? He'd go nuts.
Yeah.
Being that scheduled. So yeah, I'm done. I'm ready. I want my tablet back.
See you guys next week. Yeah, hopefully next week I'll be back to normal. Well, hopefully better than normal. I don't know. I feel like I've been slacking off on these a little bit lately.
Box opening with your stuff this week?
Box opening.
A haul.
I'm just gonna do a going to get it and see what I got.
Lots of fabric on this one.
Really? How much stuff? Am I gonna be able to fit all this stuff on the boat?
Bill says it's a lot, so.
Yeah, but like a lot, like I can fit it on.
He said a lot. Come get your shit.
Am I gonna be able to fit it on my boat
I don't know,
lot?
Probably. Yeah, you should.
Oh, I hope I get a good weather day that day, because I don't want to be driving through like a storm with like a full-on loaded boat of like 1,000 pounds of stuff. I'll push the button. Glad. Oh, no, go push the button.